Hey guys, this is Ferganator. Today I'm going to give you a Planetside 2 guide. Now, bear in mind that this is an absolute noob's guide. However, if you're a more experienced player, I do urge you to watch through this video, just in case you run into something that you didn't know before. I understand that this is quite a long tutorial, so if you are looking for a more specific aspect of the game, I've put all the times that different parts begin in the description. I hope you enjoy. So, first we must ask ourselves, what is the story of Planetside 2? Well, Planetside 2 is set in the future, of course. Basically, on Earth, there was massive warfare, and out of this warfare arose a worldwide dictatorship known as the Terran Republic. Years after this, a wormhole was spotted near Earth, and in their thirst for knowledge, the humans launched several space exploration missions, which led to a single ship coming in need of dire help. The ship eventually crash-landed on a planet much like Earth, which was later named Araxis, and technology was found there from an ancient civilization. This technology was named Vanu. The Terran Republic took charge of Araxis quickly as a nasty dictatorship, but this Vanu technology removed the Terran Republic's most useful tool of control over the people, which was fear. Many scientists studied and used this technology against the TR, and so the TR militarized themselves against the people, who called themselves the Vanu Sovereignty, and they engaged in total war. There were, however, some who had a completely different view on things. Some separatists, called the New Conglomerates, rebelled against both factions, and they wanted liberty for everyone. Planetside 2 is set in this recurring war between the three factions, the Terran Republic, the Vanu Sovereignty, and the New Conglomerate. Okay, so when you get into the game, you should be drop-podded into a large battle zone, and you were probably killed instantaneously. So after that, you will have to deploy. Now there are 5 different ways in which one can deploy in Planetside 2. You can deploy in a spawn room, which looks like this. You can deploy at a Sunderer, which looks like this. You can deploy at a squad spawn beacon and come down in a drop pod, which looks like this. You can deploy with a drop pod on top of your squad leader's head by pressing the squad deploy button, which is here. Or you can hit instant action, and the game will automatically make you drop pod onto a large piece of combat. Now, let's get you into a squad. You can join a random squad or platoon instantly by pressing insert on your keyboard. Or, you can approach somebody, hold Q, go to squad invite, and make a squad yourself. There are up to 12 people in a squad, and once you exceed that, you can split into separate squads to form a platoon. A platoon consists of up to 4 squads: Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta. Different colours signify different people from different squads. If you find some people fun to play with online, and you play with them regularly, you can similarly ask them to be your friend. This way you can invite them to a squad more easily, using your social menu, which I'll cover later. And if you perhaps have a lot of friends, or you just feel like it, you can make an outfit, which is like a guild. This way you can see who is online and invite them to squads, which lead to platoons, without being close enough to add them as a friend. Now, let's talk about terminals. You've probably seen a few different terminals walking around. Different terminals allow you to access different equipment. The type of terminal you're looking at can be figured out by inspecting the picture. Gun means infantry, tank means mechanized, and a small plane means aerospace. A large plane means large galaxy transport. The color reflects what faction said terminal belongs to concerning faction colors. But what exactly can you do at each terminal? Well, at infantry terminals, you are able to resupply ammunition and grenades to your character, change class, and spawn mechanized assault exosuits, or maxes, as well as customize your loadouts. At mechanized terminals, you spawn ground vehicles, including tanks and mobile spawn areas. At aircraft terminals, you can spawn planes. Spawning such things, however, requires the correct resources. There are 3 resource types, all of which you can gain over time. The amount you gain depends on the area you are situated and the kinds of surrounding resource gain, i.e. tech plants are the main source of mechanized resource. You have a limit of 750 in total for each resource. You spawn ground vehicles using mechanized resource. To spawn air vehicles, aerospace resource is used. And to resupply grenades and utilities, but not ammunition, or to spawn maxes, infantry resource is used. As you play the game, you may notice an orange circle with a section cut out of it including 2 perpendicular orange lines and some numbers which are slowly rising next to this. These are your certifications. Certifications, or cert points, are used to unlock new weapons, gun attachments, utilities, and pretty much anything. However, it must be understood that there are some things you must pay for in Planetside 2. There is another currency called Station Cash, or 7 Cash, in the EU. And it is with this that you unlock cosmetics. You can also unlock weapons with Station Cash. If you put money into Planetside 2, you gain Station Cash. With this virtual money, you can unlock new items. Now, on a different topic, what happens when you've spawned yourself a brilliant tank or fighter plane, you've been battling heavily for a while, you're running out of ammunition? In this case, you must know where to get your ammunition from. If you're in an air vehicle, landing on a friendly landing pad will automatically resupply your ammo over time. Similarly, if you're in a battle tank, you have to drive into proximity of an ammunition tower owned by your faction. As an infantry unit, you can easily use terminals to regain ammo, or you can walk into proximity of an engineer-placed ammo pack. Now, there are 3 continents in Planetside 2, Indar, Amerish, and Esamir. The most detailed continent, and most popular by far, is Indar. This continent portrays the rocky tundras and savannas of our Earth. Esamir, the second most popular continent, is a snowland. It contains vast open space and frozen rivers, or lakes. Amerish is the forest and grassland continent. The terrain of Amerish is difficult to drive over, and there are many trees which provide good cover. You can move between the continents by accessing a global terminal, which looks like this. During peak times, there may be queues to warp between the continents. In future updates, Sony is going to be releasing additional continents. They're going to be launching, I know of, a swamp continent and a more savanna-like desert continent. Virtual reality, or VR training, is a facility in which you can test out any weapon with any attachment, spawn vehicles for free, and try out different cosmetics against static computer opponents. Okay guys, so this is how to fly. A lot of people are baffled by the flight controls. They fly around and crash, and I've seen it and it's horrible, and yes. So here we have a Reaver. This is the New Conglomerate special kind of type warplane, battle plane type thing. Yes, thing. Anyway, it's the most controllable one for the New Conglomerate. You have also Mosquitoes for the Terran Republic, and Scythe for the Vanu Sovereignty. Those are the 2 equivalents. Now, if we hold spacebar, we can see that it rises. Hang on, let me get over the warp gate here. Okay, so we can see that it rises by holding spacebar. We can see that if we can drop down by holding control. Hang on, I'll slow down here. We can drop down by holding control. Rise with spacebar. Slow down with S. If you slow down enough, then your little thrusters will rotate downwards, and then you start falling if you go too slowly. If you press W, that's your throttle. So you can thrust well, not really throttle, but yeah, you can thrust yourself forward basically. You can the angle, the rotation of your plane is controlled by your mouse going left and right, like so. You can invert your controls if you like. You can invert your flight controls under the key bindings, I think. Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah, so you can do barrel rolls. You can really do whatever. You can press T to invert between third and first person while flying. Yeah, you can hold shift for your whatchamacallums, your boosty thing. I know what I'm talking about. Afterburner, that's what it's called, afterburners. Yep. And then you just really, it takes a lot of getting used to. Some practice, and then you can start being able to do it rather. Much more easily. It's a bit confuddling at first, especially if you're not so used to the mouse and keyboard setting, or you're more used to, say, playing PlayStation or Xbox. But yeah, it's easy enough when you get used to it. Now, over the continents, there are 3 main base types, as well as the smaller ones. These are biolabs, tech plants, and amp stations. In all bases, the point or points, A, B, C, D, etc., must be captured to take the facility. There's a timer, and the more points that are captured, the faster the facility will be taken. Now, amp stations and tech plants are much the same. In an amp station, you can see that there is a main building, plus a perimeter around it, which includes many battlements. On the battlements and the perimeter, there are lots of turrets which can be used for defense. There are shields which will prevent enemy tanks from entering the base, and these can be shut down by overloading and destroying the power generators, which is done by approaching the generator and holding E until the circle is complete. Within the perimeter, there are several buildings, including one main building. Nobody from the opposing teams can enter or leave the main building while the shields are active, but these shields can also be disabled by destroying the horizontal and vertical lines shield generators, which look like this. Once inside, there is a single point to be captured in order to take the facility. Just remember that they can be repaired once destroyed. Beneath an amp station, there are underground tunnel systems that one can use for hasty transport. Tech plants, as I said, are similar to amp stations in many ways. They include a single main building surrounded by many others. Near the main building are a few spawn areas which can be taken by the attacking faction and used as an assault technique. There's a lot of mobility within the tech plant, as there are many gravitational lifts and teleporters. There's also a lot of cover. There's a tough AA section at the top, and before taking a spawn room, there is a small crack above the shields that one can fly through. The one can fly through to get into the main building. There's also landing pads which lead to the main building. Inside, there's a generator you can destroy to take down the shields, and there's a single point to take in order to capture the facility. Tech plants are especially important, as they are essential to own them in order to spawn your faction's main battle tanks. Biolabs are quite different to these two. A biolab has plants growing within a raised platform covered by a dome. There are 2 landing pads, one on either side. Within the biolab, there are multiple points to be captured. Outside the biolab itself, there are several miniature spawning facilities that can be captured. There are 4 ways to enter the dome if the facility is not owned by your faction. You can A, land on the landing pad and walk in through the archway, sorry. You can use a bouncing pad from one of the surrounding miniature spawn facilities to land on a pad and enter through the archway as well. C, you can teleport through either the teleporters at the base of the lab, or the teleporters in the surrounding spawn facilities. Or finally, you can use the anti-gravitational pads from the small structures below the landing pads. Okay guys, so these are the different menus that you can access by pressing the escape button, and this gives you basically all the features of the game. You can just look at everything, different stats, and pretty much everything is in these menus. So you've got your profile menu, and this tells you how much currency you have of each thing, your certs, your station cash, your what do you call them? Your resources, of course. You have your battle rank, how long to the next battle rank. You've got your rank in battle, like your prefix name type thing. You've got leaderboard different boosts that you can use to increase your experience and resource gain. You've got all these different statistics everywhere in the profile. So we can go into the leaderboard, and we can see that this is me and my friends today. You can see that I'm second on the list. Damn Charlie. Yep. We can go to all, and then we can see that Sasha Gay is on the top, and Chun2 is third. He's very good. He's got the highest score in the whole thing. If we go all time, you can see that Chun2 has the highest score, logged over 80 days. Got over 204,000 certs. Damn. Anyway, you can see all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so you've got different subsections under profile. You've got stats, leaderboard, boosts. If I go into stats, you can see lots of different things. You can see my overall score, facilities captured, medals, certifications, all this kind of stuff. Next one along is map. In the map, well, it's quite obvious. You can see your map. Also, on some of the maps, they've not introduced it to all of them, but you have these little resource lines, basically. And with this, you can kind of trail exactly where different resources are going. And it also tells you that you can only use, if you will, you can only capture certain places on the map. Like, for example, from East Canyon Checkpoint, we are attacking the Palisade currently. Yeah, you can do stuff like that. It tells you territory control in the statistics up here. You can change the world population, indoor population, all this kind of stuff. You can go into... You can also redeploy in the screen. You can go into your classes, and you can look at all your different classes. You can change your loadouts, all that kind of stuff. You can go into vehicles. Similar thing for every single vehicle you got. You got your Flash, Harasser, Sunder, etc. Yeah, you can change loadouts for vehicles in the same way as the other. If we go into social, you can go into your squad or outfit or your friends. We can see Supreme Killer is online. If you go into the outfit, you can go up here. You can see everyone in your outfit and all the different ranks. There's me, Supreme Overlord, online. Nagy Production is online. He's a private. All that kind of stuff. You can edit the ranks, everything. Yeah, we can go into your notifications. Somebody's invited me to their squad. All this kind of stuff. I don't even know what that is actually. Anyway, then we can go into our certifications. And we can look at how many certifications we put into each class and vehicle. And into leadership. That's a pretty cool one. Charlie specializes in that. It's Charlie from Game Squadable. And then we can go into our depot, whatever the hell you would call it. And you can see there's daily sales, member sales, featured items, all this kind of stuff. This is all about stationed in 7 cash. 7 cash if you're in the EU. You can get 7 cash membership, all this kind of stuff. And we can also, from this, we can go to support or menu. You can also log out. So we can go into our settings and we get general, stuff like that. I apologize for the bad graphics of this game. As you can see, you've had to turn it down from the usual, because the newest update, the latest update rather, has introduced a lot of lag, unfortunately. But hopefully the hotfix will sort it out, and yeah, it always does. So yeah. Now, let me explain. The way I think about it, there are a few different types of battle. There is covert op, which is 1 to 4 foot soldiers going into a facility and taking it, without any, or at least very futile, resistance. There is overt op, which is 1 to 4 tanks going into a place and just powering over the few little people who are there, and taking the facility that way. There's a skirmish, which is about 12 foot soldiers running into a place. That's a squadron of foot soldiers. There's an assault, which is up to 30 tanks, just restricting the enemy to the spawn room, as I'm showing you here. There's a small battle, a medium battle, a large battle, a very large battle, and a supreme battle. Small battle being maybe 30 guys on each side. Medium battle maybe 50 to 100. Large battle 100 to 150. Very large battle between 150 and 300. And a supreme battle which could have up to 300 people on each side. The largest battle I've ever seen, I think, it was estimated there were about 600 Vanu sovereignty. It was a three-way battle. 600 Vanu sovereignty, about 400 Terran republics, and about 250 new conglomerates. We were new conglomerate defending the crown, and well, we held it for about 4 or 5 hours, I think, before the Vanu did a massive raid. They just stormed us with extremely high level tanks, just went right up the hill, and I don't even know how they did it. It was insane, but they took the facility very quickly after that. So yeah. Thank you for watching this video. I really do hope you've learned a thing or two about Planetside, be it the story, the resupply, whatever. This was Fergonator. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.